Hello, how are you?
Hello, Isabel. I'm very good. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you. How's your day been?
Very good. Thanks for asking. I would like to introduce myself first. My name is Diana. I am people advisor of Interlux Hotel Group. And today we will have an interview, but before we begin, I would like to inform you that for quality control and internal compliance purpose, this interview will be recorded. The recording will be used strictly for evaluation purposes and will not be shared with third parties. Do you agree with this?
Yeah, that's absolutely fine.
Thanks, Isabel. Thanks for coming today
No worries,
or
thank you for
having
having
this
me.
interview. Thank you so much. Can you start by telling me a little about yourself, please?
Um, about myself. So I am currently studying business management at the University of London, and I what can I tell you about myself? I'm quite a positive person. I'm really energetic. I think I really like to try and like lift up the mood of people when I meet them. And I think in general, a word to describe me would be really positive. So yes.
That's very good. What about the previous job that you had before?
So I am currently working in a coffee shop. It's a little business, and it's really nice. I really enjoy working there. People are really nice, but I think I would like to try and get a job where I'm a bit more challenged. So that's why I'm trying to
Mhm.
look for a new job.
Okay. What about experience in customer service? Do you have?
Yeah, so I've got plenty of experience working with customer service. I've had different jobs in the past. I first started working in Starbucks, which was quite a good way to sort of introduce myself into customer service because they're really good at regulations and health and safety, and they stay on top of like they've got like a process for everything, so it kind of like taught
Mm-hmm.
me how to deal with things. So I worked there for 2 years, and in my second year I became a supervisor. And that was really good. I kind of learned how to like delegate tasks and how to deal with complaints and all the paperwork and how to like make sure everybody's staying on top of the tasks and to work together in a team. And after that, I work in a hotel. I worked in reception, but also in the beverage section. So I would make sure to, engage with the guests and make sure people would like leave with a positive feedback and, would want to stay with us again. And, there I sort of learn how to make more like cold beverages, so like cocktails
Mm-hmm.
and, use spirits and stuff. So that was really good. So I'm quite comfortable making beverages. I'm a qualified barista. I've got like a lot of years of experience there. And like on and off, I worked in different coffee shops as well. So I've worked in small businesses. I've worked in a little charity as well. I think that was probably one of my favorite ones. So it was a social enterprise. I worked there for like 1 year, I think it was. And I worked with people who were facing homelessness, and they were trying to, get back into careers and get back out there. So I would help them train into becoming like a barista themselves. So that side was really exciting as well because I got to see like the other side of the experience, so like teaching, which I really enjoyed. And I've worked as a
Okay.
waitress as well. So I've had quite a few jobs in hospitality.
That's very good. That's what you're looking for. So that's very good.
Thank you.
I will also ask you about how do you handle with difficult situation relative to customer service, like when they complain or they have an issue about the service. How do you deal with these situations?
So that's a good question. It can be hard sometimes, but I think the most important thing is to try and, stay calm and collected and try to also like have empathy for the other person. So like, try and think that these people have come in, with an expectation and they've tried, it hasn't been met. And like, if you try and put yourself in their shoes, then you would understand that, they have they are rights, maybe sometimes to an extent, but I think it's trying to keep yourself cool and like calm and
Mhm.
try and still meet that level of satisfaction. Like maybe that wasn't met on the first stage, which should have been met, like in terms of beverages, but you can compensate with, giving a free beverage or like giving a voucher, obviously apologizing, making sure they can reach back out to you and, make sure they can contact you
Mhm.
and, provide feedback if we can improve things, make them differently. Because, sometimes it can be really easy for them to then become satisfied. Like if
Yeah.
initially, it wasn't met, if you obviously like apologize and remake it, whatever they need, it can be that easy for them to then become like, okay, that's fine, and they can still be happy afterwards. So yeah, I think that's how I do it.
Yeah. That's very good. For us, it's very important to have our customer happy and have like good feedbacks. And as you
Mhm.
said, in case like we have like a negative feedback, we would like to work on that and see how we can like improve it, you know?
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah,
pretty
no,
good.
that's good. That's fair enough.
And what about doing multitask or work under pressure? How do you deal with this situation? Is it easy for you?
Um, yeah, so I think I actually thrive in working in under pressure and like multitasking, because in my previous jobs it was like a really crucial skill to have, just because in a fast-paced environment these things can build up quite fast. So you have to make sure that you are tracking what you're doing, even though like don't take more than you can, and you need to be sure to ask for help if it's beyond your hands. Try and
Mhm.
always come up with a solution to your problems. But I think the most important thing with multitasking is trying to staying on top of what you're doing, because sometimes it's quite easy to forget what you're doing. But I'm quite comfortable with it because, like in the Starbucks that I worked before, it was like a
Yes.
drive-through. It had a cafe and it had deliveries. So sometimes you'd have to like be taking an order whilst making the order yourself and then handing it over and then paying attention to, the deliveries or like the people who are ordering. So I actually really enjoy it. It's really fun.
So you can say that you are good working as a teamwork in a teamwork.
Oh
Is that
yeah.
easy for you?
Yeah, I think it's obviously like the nicest to be sure you can rely on the people you're working with, because at
Mm-hmm.
the end of the day we're all there to try and achieve a goal together, and we all want to get there like the best and as quick as we can. So, I think delegating but also, communicating with your teammates is really important, because as I
Yeah.
said before, like if you need help, you need to voice that, because not everybody's going to be able to tell it. Um, but also is trying to be aware of your colleagues around you. Like, you can see when somebody's struggling. It's always really important to offer a hand, and, because I think it's really important to have a positive work environment. Otherwise, tasks are gonna become much more difficult than they need to be.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's really important to work in a team.
Yeah, it's very important. And also, like, if you have any issue at work with a customer or anything, we also tell to our employees that please communicate to the supervisor, the manager,
Mhm.
because as they know, they have more experience, they will know how to deal with different
Oh
situations that
yeah, yeah,
maybe,
of course.
yeah. So that's
Yeah,
pretty
yeah, yeah.
good. About hygiene and safety standards, do you have knowledge about this or do you have experience?
Yeah, so because I've worked in many like food environments and like making beverages, I'm, quite aware of all the risks of like cross-contaminations, allergens are really important. And I make sure to stay on top of all of this just because I want to make sure that in my work environment, both customers and us are safe. So, I'm quite aware of all the of regulations regarding health and safety and food safety. And I've got like my certifications for it that I, can show it to you if you would like.
Yeah, this topic is very important for us because we are given like bringing food to people, and we need to like make sure that everything is perfect and everything is going well, and like every employer knows about this safety and regulation standards because it's quite important.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's good.
Okay. What about language? Because I saw in your application that you speak Spanish and you also learning French.
Yeah, so I'm actually really interested in languages. I actually took a French test last week. So I've
Mm-hmm.
now successfully passed B2, which I'm really proud about. And then Spanish is my native language. But
Okay.
also when I was because I don't know, I think I'm quite interested in languages themselves because it's quite a good way to connect to people. Because sometimes, you might not share the same language and it can become a bit tricky. But it's just such a nice way to like, because you don't always express yourself the same with different languages that you speak. And also, like in the
Mm-hmm.
hotel that I worked at, I think it gives like a different experience as well as a guest, just because it means that, you have that connection with this person, and then they're more likely to be, satisfied and happy with the service if you can share that with them. And then they're more likely to return as well, which is, I think, is really important in a hotel chain, for example.
Yeah, it is. It's very important. Also for us, it is. As Interlux Group Hotel is international, we also have employees for many, many countries. And it would be like very nice to have a speaker, Spanish speaker.
Yeah, no, no, I think that's really good. That's why, like, I was also interested in the role, so maybe I can practice my French.
Okay, Isabel. So what about what motivates you to work in hospitality?
Um, that's a good question. I think initially, I just like because I started off really young, so I think I needed a job. So I think that was one of the first jobs that I had.
Mm-hmm.
But as I like, surrounded myself more with it, and like I actually realized that I'm really good at talking to people, and I'm really good at connecting with people, and I really enjoy it as well, like having that interaction with
Mm-hmm.
people. And now I'm like more looking at it as a career thing rather than like an sporadic thing. So even though it
Okay.
started as a like first thing, now is just part of my life and part of like what I want my life to be.
Okay. Okay. Okay, Isabel, thank you so much. I would also would like I would like also to ask you about if you have your own transportation, or if you how can you get to the hotel, how long it would take for you.
Yeah, so I'm really close to the hotel actually, which is really handy.
Okay.
I'm about like 10-minute walk, so I'm quite easy
Oh,
to like
okay.
commute. And I'm happy to do morning shifts if need be, but
Mm-hmm.
also like, closes or late shifts. I'm quite flexible.
Okay, so are you able to work extra hours?
Yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind working extra hours at the moment. I think I want to try and do full time and like work as much
Okay.
as I can, so that would be handy for me.
Okay. Are you able to be a stand-up for 6 to 10 hours every day?
Yeah, that's not problem. Yeah, yeah, of course.
Okay. Okay, Isabel. Do you have any question for me?
Yeah, so I had a few questions if that's okay.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Yeah, so the first one was to do with like progression, just because I saw on your website that you provide like some courses and stuff. And I was like, I would really like to progress within your company, just because as I said, I would really like to take this as a career, like my next career step. So I wanted to
Okay.
ask you if you could give me more details about it.
Yes, for sure. Our company try to help. people to grow up with us, like build their profession,
Yeah.
and like we bring courses for them
Hmm.
about customer service. We also have languages, manager. So yeah, it is a possible, and it's pretty
Oh, that's
nice,
really good. Do
pretty
you
pretty
guys
good.
have any other chains, or like is it just based in London at the moment?
At the moment, yes.
Nice. And do you know like the story about, because I didn't get to actually read about it. Do you know the story about the company itself?
No, really.
That's okay.
um, no, sorry for that.
That's fine,
Um,
don't worry. No, I'll have to have a little, little Google, that's no problem. And last question. What was it I wanted to ask you? Oh, I forgot. Oh yeah, the languages. Just because you mentioned about also offering maybe some languages within it as well. Is that, limited to anything, or is it any language?
I think we are working now with like some languages. I think there are like 10. We have Germany, Chinese, Hindi, Italian, French. But yeah,
Oh, that's really
and
good.
we also give them print-based education online, so it's very good because it allows the people to take them as they can.
Nice. And then in terms of like like the work environment, is it quite like have you got diversity and inclusion? Like what's that sort of, what does it look like within the company as well?
Yeah, yeah, that's a very good question. Our company is very interested and have diversity. So we do highlight people from, as I said before, from many countries, ethnias. Yeah. So that's very good. We do have inclusion.
Oh, that's really good. Okay, that sounds perfect. Last question, sorry. When would you be looking into like the start date?
We hope so to start maybe in 2 weeks. Today we will have interviews.
Okay.
This week also we will uh give them an give them an answer. So yep, we will let you know. But yeah,
Okay,
probably in two
perfect.
weeks around.
That's really good. Thank you so much.
Okay, Isabel, thank you so much for your
Have a
time.
lovely day. Thank you so much.
You
Take care.
too. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.